My name is Mark, and I'm on a weight loss journey. I started recording my journey in part to help me stay on it, but also maybe to help others, to let them know they're not alone. I've had ups, I've had downs. I'm still a fat man. I've got a long way to go. So, what I'm doing is I'm showing glimpses of my life as a fat person and a fat dad, as well as updating you on my journey. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just a fat man who has received a lot of medical advice over his life, trying to combine it all together to come up with something that will work. If you're on a similar journey, please like, share, and subscribe. If you know someone on a similar journey, please like, share, and subscribe. Above all, please comment. If you find this entertaining or informative, or there's something you'd like to share about your life, or something you'd like me to share about my life, please comment. I read all the comments and I take them very seriously. So join my journey, and hopefully, if you are on a journey like me, keep on plugging. That's all you can do. Day by day. It's a long journey for some of us.
All right, as part of my new commitment to walk more, I am forsaking the mobility carts at the grocery store. So you can't tell it, but I'm pushing a grocery cart. That's also, you see how I wobble when I walk. We will get back to you with updates. All right, we are mostly done. Heading to the checkout and then heading to the car. Hip and knee hurting on one side, but doing okay. All right, it's time for an in-car debrief. Let me straighten out my tie a little. There we go. And my hair is a mess because I just drove with the window open. Anyway, so the walking around went okay. Probably would have been a little harder without the cart to kind of hold on to. Probably mostly psychological, actually, on the cart. Anyway, the hip and the thigh area and the knee on one side were hurting. That's from the sciatica. I eventually it'll go away. Some days it's better than others. So I do need to walk more. That's part of just the plan in general, but also specifically for the surgery. The surgeon's team says that they want you to do 150 minutes per week of physical activity. So that's a little bit more than 20 minutes a day, 22 minutes a day. So I've got to do more. And they specifically mentioned walking, especially if I get the surgery post-surgery, to avoid your intestines getting tangled and stuff. So, going to be more walking. I'm going to have to do as much stretching and applying heat to the affected area as much as possible to try to stretch out this sciatica. But yes, I'm trying to get more active. Hopefully this little glimpse will show you what I'm going through, what I am trying to do, what I am accomplishing, if I'm accomplishing anything. So stick with it. It's your little glimpse into life as a fat man for the week. Dressed up for church, not teaching today, it's Sunday, but I do like to wear a shirt and tie for teaching as well. So, carry on. It's Saturday. Time for coffee as always. This one I'm having, let me turn it around, in my Cabela's cup. I think it got bought out by Bass Pro Shops. It's a really good, big, giant store full of camping, hunting, and fishing stuff. Especially like camping stuff. Anyway, and I put some 0-calorie, 0-sugar pumpkin spice in there just because it's pumpkin spice season. And sometimes I'm a basic white dad. So, the week in food. Some bad days, 2 bad days actually. There may have been chips involved, there may have been cheesecake involved. Good news is it was at the beginning of the week, so I had a chance to my body to recuperate and clear it out. I did take one day very low calorie kind of as punishment maybe, about 500 calories. I actually don't recommend that, even though I did it myself, because what happens sometimes is your body rebels the next day and you just splurge and go 4,000 calories. So my goal, just to reiterate, is 1,500 calories a day, counting only food. I'm going to low calorie drinks, I'm just counting as freebies. And so that's 1,500 calories, low carbs. And the reason why I go for that is it's based on various accumulation of information and advice from doctors and from legitimate sources. There was a book I read once called, I believe, Protein Power, which was written by some doctors. And it all has to do with, number one, making sure your body doesn't store the fat. And number two, kind of starving your body a little to call in the reserves. My body needs more than 2,500 calories just to survive. And in that book, it had a way of calculating your lean body mass. Look it up. I'm sure there's somewhere on Google you can figure out how to calculate your lean body mass. That's the part of your body that isn't fat. That's the part of your body that needs fuel to just survive. And so you want to be below that level. And like I said, my body was more than 2,500 calories. So 1,500 calories means that I'm running a 1,000 calorie deficit in theory every day. So my body has to call on, in theory, 1,000 calories worth of reserves every day. So it's slow, it's genuine. I have got to start working towards a couple goals. One goal is to walk more. My sciatica is getting in the way of that. I'm trying to walk more around the house because that's an easy commitment. I'm not too far away from being able to sit down. Whereas if I walk to the park, I have nowhere to sit down until I get to the park. So it's just needing to have a place to be able to rest. So anyway, more walking. That's a goal because I've got to get that up, especially if I want the surgery, especially after the surgery. And number two is I want to try to start transitioning towards more of the eating lifestyle I'll need after the surgery. Now, the surgery, if it happens, is, at least 2 months in the future, probably more than that. But once you get to that, it's small meals, maybe 6 times a day versus regular meals. A meal, because it's a 1,500 calorie goal, shouldn't be more than 500 calories. If you're planning a snack, then you're going to have to lower that per meal point. But if I'm doing like 6 meals, well, those are like 250 calorie a day kind of meals, and that's very small. And it's because a couple of things: your body won't be able to handle the quantity of food. It has to be reasonably dense in nutritional value because you're only getting a bit at a time. The presentation that I saw was much more informative than previous ones. So we'll see. It's not a decision I've made yet, but it's a decision that's coming up. And I know this is very wordy and I haven't gotten around to the weigh-in. I just have stuff to share. So, the weigh-in. I was worried because of the week started bad, and of course I do a midweek weigh at Wednesday, and it was still under the I've eaten too much the first couple days kind of thing. So I was worried, but it worked out okay in the end. I wound up at 444, so that's a good number, and it's only a 2-pound loss. But again, we're talking about I had a couple bad days. So, let's just, everybody stick to what you're doing. Share what you're doing. Are you doing something? Is there something you're doing different? Is there something you're doing the same? Is there stuff that you have found that works for you in past? I know that people tend to lose and then they give up and then they gain again and so forth, and it's hard to find anything to stick to, which is what I'm having difficulty making sure I can stick to this. So please, please share your stories. Tell me what you think about my story. Like this video, share the video, and subscribe. Subscribe just gives me kind of an idea if I'm getting more people involved. If I'm not, that's okay. Part of this journey is just for me, part of it is for you. So like, share, subscribe, and just if you're on this journey, one step at a time, one day at a time. If you get discouraged, don't stop. Pick yourself up, go on again.
This is bonus kitty of the day. This is Daisy. She is the kitty, who's the oldest. She's the matriarch. She's the mama to the other cats if they let her. She's the mama to my daughter. But in a weird way, I think she thinks she's my wife. Right now, she wanted to be held and then she doesn't want to be held. That's your bonus kitty of the day. And she's gone.